So I'm only going to click on the stuff that seems to be related to the story and getting further. Mostly. James Gordon. Over the past year, my partnership with Jim has flourished. I've finally won his trust, and Gotham City is a better place for it. Batman used to be hidden in the shadows, but Jim has helped me step into the light and find legitimacy. For that, I'm grateful. I think Jim is finally settling into his new role as police commissioner. It's been a difficult transition, and I don't think he'll ever be comfortable with the tragic way he received his promotion, but I trust he'll use his newfound authority to make this city a better place. Gotham is lucky to have him, and so am I. I couldn't ask for a better partner. Okay, bro. Oh, she's the girl who said, let's talk about it downtown to the criminal. Things are looking up for Jim Gordon's favorite true blue cop. Renee Montoya was recently promoted to detective after she was exonerated of the murder of Carmine Falcone. It was evidence I provided that proved she was under the influence of Lady Arkham's drug when she committed the crime. Does being on drugs really absolve you of having done a heinous criminal act? Maybe because it forced her to do something against her will, but who knows? I admire Renee's dedication to law enforcement and fierce loyalty to Jim. It's evident that she lives for her work, often at the cost of her personal life. Sounds like a problem we both share. I want to skip around. So we'll look at him. He's done. And probably this Arkham thing, I'm betting. Amanda Waller. I got my first glimpse at Amanda Waller outside the casino after Riddler's grisly attack on Rumi Mori. I still don't see why Rumi Mori has a casino with a V outside. A former congressional aide and political science PhD, Waller's irrepressible ambition has got her straight to the top of the government's top covert law enforcement organization, the agency. She's recently been promoted to regional director with a jurisdiction that spans the entire northeastern United States, including Gotham City. Gordon doesn't like her, that much is clear. Understandable. She's a force of nature who's threatening his turf. I just wish I knew more about her intentions toward Gotham. She seems like she could be a powerful friend, but an even more powerful enemy. Seems I can scroll down. Nope. Vernon Blake. He's barely got 3 sentences, not even a whole paragraph. He's not going to be a big deal of the story. Special Agent Blake, Avesta's terse partner. I met him as Batman after Riddler's attack on the casino. Not much to say about him at the moment. The Riddler is an old name in Gotham. One we thought was gone for good. He was dangerous enough that even Carmine Falcone, Mayor Hill, and my father left him alone. An international terrorist wanted by Interpol and hunted by the agency. The agency? The Riddler's modus operandi is to torture and kill his marks by forcing them to solve his macabre riddles. According to the agency's profile on him, Riddler's got a genius-level IQ and exhibits signs of narcissistic and obsessive-compulsive personality disorders. He's cruel, calculating, and merciless, and I will bring him down. Rumimori. There are two sides to Rumimori. The face he shows to the public and the person he really are. Huh? Okay, that's a poor translation. Was this written in Chinese first? I'm going to read that again. There are two sides to Rumimori. The face he shows to the public and the person he really are. The person he keeps in the shadows, hidden from the prying eyes of polite society. Like, this needs to be is, and no one proofread it. Coming from a big name game studio. That's just absolutely horrible. Hidden away from the prying eyes of polite society. Mori wants everyone to believe he's a model citizen. He paints his public persona with philanthropy and seemingly legitimate business empire, but take a closer look behind the mask and you'll catch a glimpse of the real Rumimori, war profiteer and murderer. Just like BlackRock. He made his fortune running guns during the Arab Spring and soon after diversified into high-tech weaponry. Of course, Mori's illicit activities have never been proven in the court of law. Riddler. Come on. Riddler had some bone to pick with Mori. Perhaps that's why he targeted him at the Virago. Maybe they're trying to, now that I see it and pronounce it, sound it out, it looks like it's supposed to be the Mirage. So, is Batman, or maybe Telltale, trying to tie in Rumimori with the owner of the Mirage? You know, Gotham would certainly make more sense as Las Vegas than it does as New York City. Riddler had some bone to pick with Mori. Perhaps that's why he targeted him at the the Mirage. It's not surprising a man like that would have enemies. I wonder how he made one of the Riddler. It's not surprising a man like that would have made enemies. I wonder how he made one of the Riddler. Well, that is kind of a really messy statement, both of those together, because he says it's not surprising he has enemies, and then he's like, I wonder why he has another enemy. Like, it should have been stated a little different. Like, a man like this would gather many enemies, and I'd like to find out how the Riddler became one. The Agency. Okay, so it's not Arkham anything. One of the nation's most clandestine national security organizations, the Agency operates in the darkest shadows of the criminal justice system. Not much is known about their day-to-day operations, but what little information I can dig up about them is that the agency's influence is awe-inspiring, stretching across international borders and reaching the highest echelons of political power. So I think they're trying to represent as the deep state, but Batman called her a Fed, or maybe Gordon called her a Fed. Either way, they gave up all the authority on their police investigation to this agency, so it seems like they disagree that they're a viable agency for the government, but they go ahead and back down and bow down to them pretty heavily, which is also really weird, because the only way they do that in real life is if they saw information that said they should back down, like someone's in on it allowing them to back down. Like most things that are within a state are the state's jurisdiction, and the feds, which really cannot be the CIA, because they can only act outside of the United States. It has to be the FBI or even the NSA or the IRS. Who knows? Who cares? But they can operate within the United States. No, wait. They can operate within a state, and they can take over the investigation if it was also in a different state. So it has to be internal across the. It has to be national for them to be able to flex authority. Maybe it'll say why Thomas Wayne was a criminal. I never heard that before. It, again, probably is only with the Telltale series, as far as I understand. My father, and possibly the worst criminal in the city has ever known, Thomas Wayne. What? I thought he was supposed to be oh, I once thought he was a hero. A man who died trying to protect my mother, and from the bullet of a common crook. I was wrong. I found out the truth about my father not long ago. He wasn't the philanthropic doctor he pretended to be. He was a monster who amassed our family's wealth by drugging and gaslighting Gotham's wealthiest families and robbing them of their fortunes. He devastated lives and destroyed minds. My friend, he used to collect the Gotham by Gaslight, and I thought, the comic books, and I thought, well, that's silly. Like, why would I want to read about Batman being back in, like, the 1800s? Like, is he gonna fight, like, Jack the Ripper or something? But now that it's in the 2020s decade, gaslighting has really shown its face as lying to someone to tell them that they were wrong about a memory. So his dad was lying to the public and the other citizens that something in their own mind was bullcrap and made up. To rob someone of their sanity is one of the worst things you can do to a person. I would know. Lady Arkham robbed me of mine as I recompense for my father's sins. I hope that debt is paid. That right there tells me that this Batman is Catholic. Because other Christians believe that Christ died for our sins, and even my faith says that we don't have to atone for anyone else's sins, not even Adam's. I want nothing more than to leave his dark legacy in the past. So the whole fact that Batman, whenever I pause, I'm looking up at a comment. Basically, I they're all likely harasser restricted, and they're what they say is not published to chat, and I'm looking at it trying to decide if it's a real human or a bot. Martha Wayne. Oh, Martha. My mother, the mystery. I witnessed her in my father's assassination when I was just a child, just a wee lad. So my memories of her, a few and far between. A few? This should say are few. Because these are phrases. I seen a kind of meme the other day. Yesterday. Where a guy was stating all the phrases that he knew of that other races would say. And it was sort of entertaining. Making fun of white people. But this one gets it completely wrong. So it again just seems like the writer or the editor didn't speak English and was editing even though they didn't know what they were doing, and correcting mistakes that weren't mistakes but were actually correct probably. My memories of her are few and far between. but I cherish each one. It's unclear what she knew. I'm gonna continue reading in Martha's voice. I don't care. It's unclear what she knew or how involved she was with my father's crimes, but there's a part of me who wants to believe the best about her. Maybe she was left in the dark. Maybe she tried to stop him. I just don't know. I need to believe that there's a part of me that is good, and that part is my mother. Part of me is my mother. Gotham City, 10.5 million. My city 20 years ago was only 400,000 people, and now we're like up here like this. I have to check on something. Gotham City is more my hometown. It's more than my hometown. It's my passion project. When I look out onto that skyline, I don't see a city. I see a living, breathing organism that keeps evolving, adapting to new threats. I must adapt with it. The criminals that this place attracts are no different. There was a time when all you had to worry about was wise guys and street thugs, but crime, too, has evolved. Yeah, same with my city. All you had to do was worry about wise guys, street thugs, and, well, petty thugs. They're sneaky out here. That's all they really are. If they get to be wise guys, they get handled really quick. The crime rate might be down, but the villains are becoming more and more bizarre, more terrifying. Sometimes I think crime is a virus that keeps mutating into more violent strains, and the city is sick with it. I'll let Batman be the cure. Well, because he's Batman. Bruce likes to talk in third person. Established November 1921, Arkham Asylum. Gotham City's only maximum security psychiatric hospital. I was committed here for a couple of days after I was drugged by Lady Arkham and was incited to attack Oswald Cobblepot. So this place doesn't exactly hold the best memories for me. That's one of the reasons I'm renovating it. Once outdated and dilapidated, Wayne Enterprises has promised to bring this antiquated asylum into the 21st century by turning it into a state-of-the-art mental health facility. So he stayed there. He doesn't own it, but because it was just a horrendous place to live while he was being held captive, he had the rooms redecorated. I don't know. Maybe he had it cleaned up. Wayne Enterprises, established 1870. His father did it after he got out of med school. So that means his father was about, I'd say, 25 to 30 years old when he established it. And you really don't get this kind of wealthy being a nice doctor. So I could see Thomas Wayne being active in criminal empire and political exploits. Multinational corporation founded by my ancestors, covering all manner of technology, manufacturing, and finance. I inherited a majority stake from my parents and have recently become more involved in its day-to-day operations. So far, so good. Stocks are up, and Wayne Enterprises Research and Development Department is developing some pretty exciting new technologies. It's kind of interesting. If you even think about that, like, what if they were like Facebook? We look at Zuckerberg, and he had his own like pet projects going on. He had his whole VR and Meta, and he's kind of trying to lead the charge of Facebook by changing its name to Meta, and it's not really working out for him. Mostly because he's doing it out of profit, not out of being a gamer. In my opinion. And they got some pathetic actors to endorse his product, and that just don't work. for one actor, one known actor, well-named actor, you can buy 100 actors to pay to tell everyone your product is good. So, oh, but since Zuckerberg made a smaller department do all the stuff he wanted to do to have fun, it wasn't that big a deal. It didn't destroy the whole company. Crime Alley, Park Row, Gotham City. A squalid downtown alley where my parents were assassinated. The street across from the Monarch Theater is the place my childhood ended and the rest of my life began, violently. I installed a plaque there to honor my parents before I knew the truth of my father's criminality. Gotham City Police Department headquarters is Gotham's first line of defense against criminals both mundane and bizarre. When mobster Carmine Falcone was in power, he kept at least half the force in his pocket, but not all of them. James Gordon was one of the few he couldn't corrupt. Since Falcone and Mayor Hill were taken down, Gordon has worked to clean up the corruption in the department. Crime rates have fallen dramatically since Gordon took over as police commissioner. Since Wayne Enterprises pledged to rebuild Arkham Asylum, the Gotham City Police Department has worked closely with the facility to determine which criminals should go to Arkham for rehabilitation and which ones belong in Blackgate Prison. We'll just read them all. Lucius Fox. There'd be no Batman without Lucius Fox. In a sense, he's built me. From Batsuit to Batmobile. Everything I am, everything I've become, I owe to him. A brilliant engineer and trusted confidant, Lucius is one of the few people I can depend on in this world. In addition to being Wayne Enterprises' technological leader, I've entrusted him to run a secret R&D wing, research and development, where he designs and develops new bat tech. Alfred Pennyworth. He doesn't look old enough here. I am not my father's son. I am Alfred's. What? Twist. After my mother and father were murdered, he was the one who did the hard work of raising me. It couldn't have been easy for him, making sure he instilled the right values and steered me away from the vices of my father. Steadfast and true compassionate. Alfred knows me better than anybody. Certainly better than I know myself. He's my moral compass and my best friend. Last year, he was kidnapped by Lady Arkham. I'm still riddled with guilt over what happened. I just hope he can recover from the emotional trauma of the ordeal. All I want is for him is to be healthy and happy again. All I want is for him is to be healthy and happy again. Should have had a comma there. And all of this, should have been removed. All I want is for him to be healthy and happy again. I don't know. It does not roll off the tongue. It was Iman Avesta? Or Eamon Avesta? It was Special Agent Eamon Avesta who handed me the psychological profile on Riddler. I don't know much about her other than that she's a Gotham native and seems to have the confidence of Amanda Waller. She's also a huge fan of Batman, which is somewhat relieving. Maybe I can use that to my advantage in further dealings with the agency. All right. Whoop. Gotham Media Feed, Gotham Citizen Support, GCPD, Batman Partnership by Julia Martins. Despite some heavy criticism from elected officials, the Gotham City Police Department's public partnership with the masked vigilante known as Batman has been rousing success with the city's population. Across the board, crime in the Gotham City limits has been down from the previous year, with violent crimes hitting a record low. Though some on the city council have raised concerns about Batman's hidden identity and his operation outside the restrictions of the law, it doesn't appear to be hurting public opinion. I don't care who he is, I care that he makes things safer, said grocery store owner Wayne Barton, whose business has seen a 50% spike in sales after dark in recent months. After Dark was another Batman series in the comics. Council member Gail Rich is sympathetic to business owners like Barton, but she maintains, until we know who this Batman is, I don't think we can ever be truly safe. Wayne Enterprises stock hits record high. I have a problem with this one too. Wayne Enterprises stock hit a record high of $120 per share today during afternoon trading, surpassing its previous high of $115 per share over a year ago. Like, they didn't fluctuate very much in 1 year's time. I can see like $5 over a year time is pretty good, but that means it hit 115 and then dropped to like 113 and then 110 and then came back up to 120. It's kind of goofy. The record high is the latest event in the company's recent hot streak since Bruce Wayne returned to this company as CEO last year following his brief ouster. Yeah, it's just not how stocks really works. Wayne was removed from the CEO position last year and replaced with Oswald Cobblepot in a move that resulted in Wayne publicly assaulting Cobblepot and being briefly admitted to Arkham Asylum. Wayne has since claimed the assault was the side effect of a drug injection at the hands of former Gazette reporter Vicky Vale, who conducted criminal business under the name Lady Arkham. Dent trial date pushed back again by Kate Clark. What was this one by? Mark Phillips? I have to scroll. Julia Martins. Mark Phillips, Kate Clark. I think that's a Scottish name. It's Scottish. Oh my gosh. Dent trial pushed back. A federal judge has delayed the start of former Gotham Mayor Harvey Dent's criminal trial by several more months following the departure of the defendant's entire legal team. The team, led by attorney Brandon Hoffman, announced they were recusing themselves in a pre-trial hearing on Monday morning. Instead, Dent, who previously served as Gotham's district attorney, has insisted on representing himself in the trial. In a statement in court, Hoffman said, "I no longer feel I can defend Mr. Dent to the best of my ability." Didn't it say that Dent is representing himself? He is the district attorney, and that makes him a good lawyer, but representing yourself means that in your own defense means that the opposing counsel can cross-section you as the defendant, which makes it an unfair trial. But you're the idiot who put yourself in as your own representation. Like the whole reason that, they say someone who represents themselves is a fool, and they probably have a better rhyme for that, but it's because you're supposed to sit there and shut up. Judge Harriet Stokes then moved to delay the trial for more months while Dent prepared his case. This is the fourth delay in the trial and the third set of attorneys who part ways with Dent, who is facing multiple charges of murder, criminal negligence, and fraud. Gazette investigation. What is the agency? By Julia Martins again. She's popular. It seems Batman, they deleted something right here. There's a double space. Here's a single space. There's two return lines. Batman is no longer the most mysterious crime fighter in the streets of Gotham these days. Multiple sources from law enforcement have confirmed with the Gazette that a mysterious governmental entity known only as the Agency has been conducting operations in the city recently. I think they know Waller or of Waller. On the record, there's no evidence of any federal crime-fighting organization by this name, but many sources who have requested anonymity have confirmed that the agency has been present at several recent crime scenes and exerted a considerable authority. I have no idea who these people are, but when they show up, they're in charge, one officer said. They act like they know what they're doing, but with no way to check their track record, I guess we have to take them at their word. And the problem with that is they could be like the Joker's henchmen for all they know, or Waller could be a supervillain, and all our agents are really just henchmen. Officials say Cobblepot model prisoner. Yeah. Oh, Julia Martins. She's third time she posted something, so we're gonna see a lot of her. Maybe Batman's gonna date her real good. In stark contrast with the ongoing saga of Harvey Dent's legal battle, former Wayne Enterprises CEO and convicted domestic terrorist Oswald Cobblepot is a model prisoner at Blackgate Prison. At Black Rock Prison. I'm kidding. The man who briefly aligned himself with the terrorist organization Children of Arkham pleaded guilty to all charges against him earlier this year. He was sentenced to 40 years to be served in Blackgate. Observers and legal experts were surprised at Cobblepot's decision to forego a hearing in court, but from all accounts he appears to be enjoying his new life in jail. Well, if you got enough money, you can sit back and enjoy some free time and free space in prison while still doing your business, which is kind of insane that they're allowed to run their companies from within prison and have that kind of luxury. Like, isn't being in prison supposed to be about separating them from the population, not just from physical breathe space, but from being able to influence the world outside of their cell? So yeah, that's not a good thing. We don't have a bad thing to say about him, said one Blackgate guard, who wished to remain anonymous. You get to talking to him, and he's actually pretty charming. He's super smart. Is this what Penguin looks like? They said right-click to exit, and I didn't right-click to back out.